Welcome to the conversation. One of the biggest mysteries about Poppy Playtime is who exactly we are playing as. So far, we know that he or she receives a letter with a tape about Playtime Co. The letter tells us that the employees disappeared, and the description of the chapter advises us that we are an ex-employee. Other than that, it's unclear who we are, what department we worked for, or what our name is. However, after taking a look at some of the tapes we find around the plant, I believe I have a theory as to who we are. As for my other Poppy Playtime videos, this one will contain spoilers as well. You've been warned. The evidence. Before I review my theory of who we are, let's review some facts we have available to us, as well as some theories I put forth in my other Poppy Playtime videos. Go watch those if you haven't yet. We know that Playtime Co. started to make toys in 1960. Elliot Ludwig created the Make-A-Friend machine and produced the first Poppy doll, a doll that could have a full conversation with a child. My theory is that Poppy, along with most if not all of the other toys, have either a soul, parts of a human body, or both within them. In fact, I believe that the goal of Playtime Co. was to either keep people alive past the point that the human body allows, or to bring a person back from the dead by moving a person's soul to a doll or toy. Immortality is something that mankind has been striving for thousands of years, so it's easy to understand a company would want to achieve the unachievable. But why would a toy company care about immortality? Well, as I stated in my Poppy video, one theory I had was that Elliot Ludwig's daughter was sick or dying, and he wanted to make sure she didn't pass away. So he developed a machine that moved her soul to the first Poppy doll, the same one that we free at the end of Chapter 1. When he realized that his daughter wasn't the same when moved to the doll, he wanted to continue to perfect the machine and make it better so he could bring her back. However, experiments cost money. So, instead of wasting what he had accomplished so far, he decided to open the Playtime Co. factory to continue to make lifelike toys to fund his research. An admirable goal, but somewhere along the way, or perhaps thanks to someone's influence, the goal was twisted from bringing his daughter back to finding a solution to death itself. The experiments continued, using the employees of the company as test subjects. The game also implies that finding a solution to aging and death was something that the company was interested in through the tapes left behind by employees. Stella, someone who was trying to get a job at the factory, speaks in detail about people getting older and dying, but states that there are things way older than humans that are still alive today. It's no coincidence that the game developers spell out an idea like this in a tape during an interview with a prospective employee. The final piece of evidence I want to cover is the gray videotape we find just before entering Poppy's domain. The unnamed scientist speaks of experiments done, and one in particular that is missing. At first, I thought he was referring to Huggy, who can be heard in the background stomping around in the air vents. But then something clicked. Alright, here's my theory. You are 1006. I believe you are playing an android. Over its 30 years of operation, the company had done research and experiments on the possibility of keeping people alive in the form of toys, and used their employees as test subjects. The protagonist is an ex-employee, meaning that you could have been, and probably were, experimented on. I believe you are the most successful test subject the innovation team ever created, the prototype, and you were given a very human-like body. You weren't the only one of your type, but you seem to have a full set of skills. I believe the main character has the ability to think for himself and maintained his free will through his conversion process to a toy. You went missing by escaping from the factory, which caused the catastrophe that made all of the employees disappear. I also believe you have some connection to the others in your experiment group, as your absence is described as a flaw in the scientific process that caused everything to go terribly wrong. Perhaps your escape triggered the other experiments or toys in the factory to try to make their own escape? Time will tell. After your escape, you hid for 10 years until the mysterious note reaches you and draws you back to the factory. I still have a ton of questions about the person you play as in Chapter 1. Who was he? What did he do for the company? Perhaps he is Rich or Avery from the warehouse that we hear about in the orange cassette tape. Perhaps it is Elliot Ludwig himself. What is his relationship to the demonic Huggy that follows us around? Does he know that he is an android, or did he suppress or eliminate those memories to make him feel more like a normal human? I cannot wait to see what happens in the upcoming chapters. I like the idea that we play as the missing prototype, coming back to find out what the hell happened here, and maybe getting some revenge on the people who did this to him. This is, of course, just one theory about who we are playing as, with only a few pieces of evidence that point to it. I would love to read your own theories about who the main character is in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Or perhaps you think I am totally wrong with my assumptions and understanding of what is presented in this chapter. My next video will be about Huggy Wuggy, the big blue toy himself. What he is, why he was created, and whose soul is inside that furry shell. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe to this channel to see when I post my next video on Poppy Playtime. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.